Today we're going to learn theory of reciprocal demand. According to J.S. Mill, the equilibrium at TOT are determined by the conditions of reciprocal demand. He used the concept of TG, that is the gross barter terms of trade, which refers to the ratio of quantity of imports received for a given amount of exports. Mill emphasized that the actual barter terms of trade depended not on the cost conditions alone, as Ricardo assumed, but fundamentally on the demand conditions also. The actual ratio at which goods are exchanged between two countries will depend on what he called reciprocal demand. That is the relative strength and elasticity of the demand of the two trading countries for each other's product in terms of their own product. A stable ratio of exchange will be fixed at a point at which the value of imports and export of each country is in equilibrium. A country with an inelastic demand for imports will be prepared to give more of its exports for a certain amount of imports when a shortage in supply occurs. The TOT, or the terms of trade, will therefore be unfavorable to that country, and also its gain from trade will be less. Similarly, if a country's import demand is relatively elastic, it will offer less of its exports for a certain amount of imports. In that case, it will have a favorable terms of trade and its share of gain will be larger. In other words, when a country can push the terms of trade towards the other country's domestic ratio, then its own gain increases. Suppose a certain amount of L producers following output combinations in two countries. While country A specializes in production of X, country B specializes in production of Y. Country A will export X and country B will export Y, and country A will import Y in exchange and country B will import X in exchange. The two domestic exchange ratios only set the range within the terms of trade can be determined. If country A's demand for imports of Y is relatively inelastic, or we can say it is intense, then the equilibrium terms of trade will settle closer to Y is equal to 2x. On the other hand, if country B's demand for imports of X is relatively inelastic, then the equilibrium terms of trade will settle closer to 1y is equal to 1 upon 3x, and its gain will be lesser. Therefore, the country gains the most from international trade whose exports are most in demand and which itself has little demand for the things it imports. And that country gains the lesser which has the most insistent demand for the products of the other countries. So that's all for today. Thank you.